Charmed Life, a radio show discussing spirituality, magic, and the unconditional love of the universe. Thanks for tuning in. And I am your host, Tricia Carr. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Thank you so much. I want to remind you that you can watch us live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific on UBN Radio Channel 1 or on any of my social media outlets. Well, I shouldn't say any because we can't do it on Instagram yet. Instagram, get in line. No, I'm kidding. But you can find me on Facebook and Twitter, Periscope, and you can just look for Charmed Life with Tricia Carr. Also, you can subscribe, like, share, comment, iTunes, and on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tricia Carr. Before I get into the very exciting show today, I want to tell you about a class that I'm teaching in about 3.5 weeks, an online class, Advanced Divination Magic. And this is something I'm doing in partnership with the Lightworkers Lab, which you all probably have heard me talk about unless it's your first time listening. And if it is, welcome. But I am a teacher, a guide in a wonderful online spiritual community called the Lightworkers Lab, founded by my friend Crystal Ann Compton. You can find it on Facebook as a group. Just search the Lightworkers Lab. We have all kinds of spiritual resources, people going up live and offering free readings, and it is a really amazing community. So do join us there at the Lightworkers Lab, and in partnership with the lab, I'm teaching Advanced Divination Magic. And so this is a way to combine both the personal development practice as well as manifestation and ritualizing your intentions. And I'm going to be, I will be talking about things like cards, but I'm going to be talking about really powerful exercises that will help you to focus your intention and attention and see it manifest out into the world. All of that which is in your soul that you are called to be bringing forth, that's what we're going to be looking at and ways that you can focus on it. Because you know what? We're just ritualized versions of God. We're just the universe telling a story. And so that's what we're going to do is allow our soul, our intentions to be put in front of us like a story. And like I say, you actually have to get yourself in alignment for these things to truly work for you and for us all. So I encourage you to check it out. You can find it in the show notes, however you're listening, or I think Tony is putting up a little, it's learn.lightworkerslab.com/advanced-divination-magic. That's boring. Don't do it that way. Don't write it down with your hand. That's weird. Tony Sweet is the producer today. Hi, Tony. Yay, Tony's here. Kurt is going to be back sometime soon.
How you doing?
All right. Well, without any further delay, I would love to welcome in. You guys know her. She's been on many times. She is one of my very first teachers, incredibly talented and I don't even know if there is another person who's more heart-centered than Hillary Michaels, teacher and medium.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
What have you been up to, Hillary? What do you have going on? I know you always have so much.
Well, thanks for having me. It's so good to be on again. I have been teaching all over the country. I just got back from Seattle. We had a wonderful class, and I will be in Vegas in 3 weeks. I've also been doing a lot of mentoring and readings. And I will be bringing group readings to my events. So when I go out of town starting in January, so next time I go to Seattle, I will be doing a group reading on the Friday evening before. And it'll be 10 or more people. So everyone should get a reading. So if you guys want to come to that, it'll be posted. Sorry, it's not posted yet, but it'll be up there soon.
That's great. And so are the upcoming dates, the Las Vegas one, are they still available?
Yes, I will be in Las Vegas on December 8th, and there are 5 spots left. So if you want to go, it's in Las Vegas. So if you're in another state, you may as well make it a weekend and just come out and do it. It's on Saturday or Sunday, I think. I don't even know what day it's on. Saturday, December 8th. And it's all day. Lunch is included, and it's beginner mediumship, and you can get a really good foundation out of that class for your mediumship. So
even if you have been practicing in some form, I would say, even though it's called beginner, go. Yeah.
It's really very informational.
Yeah.
I give you like a full lecture on how you work as a medium and what mediumship is and why we all have it. And then you get to practice with the other students in the class, and you learn how to connect with your own guides and your own loved ones. And of course, I'm going around reading people all day, and I tell you who's around you and give you a good reading by the end of the class. So it's a lot of fun. Everybody loved it in Seattle. They had a great time. So
And the way they can find it is on your website, Happy Centric, or LA Spiritual
You can find it on laspiritualarts.com, and you could just go and look at the calendar. There's a class schedule and see if I'm in your city in the next 6 months. I'm scheduled all the way to June.
That's exciting.
So I'll be in 13 cities this year. So I should be somewhere near you guys.
And you're mentoring now as well. Oh, not you have been. I was in your mentoring program.
Yeah, I have a mentoring program, and I do have 2 spots available, which is really rare. I'm letting go of 4 students this month. They're all graduating and going on to their own professions and doing their own classes. So I have some spots available. So if you want to do mentoring, just go to LA Spiritual Arts and look at the mentoring link, and you'll be able to sign up there. So.
I want to point out, because I can feel there are a lot of people who are watching or listening, and you're here because this excites you in one way. I'm speaking to people who aren't doing mediumship or doing readings, or, they're just like super fascinated about it. Well, I just want to tell you that fascination, that interest is your desire and your calling to participate. It doesn't mean you have to become a professional. And actually, if you have a job that you really love, it's really good to just realize it's not the point necessarily. It might become the point, but you don't have to be worried about that right now. But just know that excitement in your heart is you calling, your soul calling you forward to open this up. And you have, but I've never, when I was a kid, I didn't have psychic experiences. Grandpa wasn't standing at the edge of my bed. That doesn't matter. That has more to do with your personality than your ability to be open to your mediumship. Would you agree, Hillary? Did you have very many psychic experiences as a kid?
I never had anything until I saw a medium myself, and I was like, I want to do what she's doing. I want to make that connection. That's really cool.
It has a lot to do with your, like I say, a personality. What if you already kind of are open or interested in it? Because spirit or God, universe doesn't force anything on you. And so for me too, I at a certain period in the middle of my adulthood, I had it shut down because I didn't want to experience that stuff. But when I was a kid, I did, and then for a good 15 years at least, nothing, because that's just how. And it's sometimes unconscious. It's a totally subconscious thing. But I'm actually segueing into welcoming our other guest, Hillary.
Yes.
Take it away.
So I did bring one of my mentoring students who is developing her own career right now. She's probably on the backside of her development. So she's almost finished. She's probably got a few more months. And her name is Janelle. So here's Janelle. So Janelle, tell us your story.
Okay, thank you so much, both of you. And can I just take a second to thank both of you so much for all the work you do? You both had such an impact on my life this past year that I've been listening to you and going to your classes, and just you both led me through the awakening process, and you just made a huge impact. So I want to say thank you so much.
You're making me cry. I can feel your heart. Just I'm tearing up. Sweet.
I'm going to start tearing too. Okay, so my story is I didn't have many psychic experiences growing up either, and then. Well, I had a lot of dreams and things that later on I realized, I guess that's spiritual side of me opening up. But the catalyst that really propelled me into opening up my gifts was having children. So, and I know you talk about this on your show, how some people need a shock to their system. And so that was mine. And also, mom brain is actually a thing. So it's a scientific thing. And it's you becoming more intuitive. So I think those things together really started opening up my spiritual gifts. And then as a new mom, I had some depression and felt a little isolated and lost pretty much all sense of self identity. And I was trying to think of the word you use, an unhealthy empath or an unfunctioning empath. Yeah. So I was pleasing everyone else, didn't know who I was. So luckily I had a little therapy in there, so that helped a lot. And then I saw on an email, you have a meetup in your area, Hillary Michaels.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was so awesome. And so the first thing I did was the group reading that you're talking about, and had a friend go with me because, at first you might be a little nervous at first to, just start something new, like anything. And so having a friend there, that was fun. But the group reading was amazing. It was just changed my life. And then started doing the development circle. I took my mother-in-law to that, and we had a lot of fun. And that blew my mind again. And ever since, that was about a year ago that I started doing the development circle. And my life has totally changed.
Wow.
I know I keep saying that, but it's true. I just feel transformed, and I'm just so much more positive, raised my vibration. And your show, too, helps raise people's vibration. There's a magic in it, just listening to it.
Oh, thank you.
It's so, thank you. And
well, the magic is you as well. As if I were just here and nobody were listening ever, I don't know if there would be as much magic. Well, Tony's pretty magical. If Tony were sitting here, we'd just be magicking on each other. but it's you as well. We're joining our light. But thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah. Just totally positive now, and
that's really amazing. And isn't it cool how shifting to being a mom and really the depression or whatever it was, whatever those portals were the ones that were calling you. Oh, okay. So aligning you with your intention, your higher self's intention of what being a mom is, which is being a positive, happier version. You may have been happy before, but it's like, no, I have to kick it up to be the right kind of mom to these amazing little souls who are in my life now. Yeah.
So true.
That's beautiful. Well, we were talking about kids who see spirits. Is this something that your children, your children, are they showing those kinds of experiences, or they seem to have gifts themselves? Yes?
Yes. So my older one, she started talking about this baby boy, and everything's been so positive with the seeing spirits, and it's nothing like scary. Like I have some friends that, and maybe we can talk about that later, about other friends' kids who have maybe the spirit they're seeing has like sad eyes or red eyes. I never have any of that.
That's because of your high vibration. Kids are scared anyway. Kids, it's scary being a kid.
Yeah.
You just think about it coming as this pure, perfect consciousness shoved into this fragile little sack of flesh. I mean, that's scary. So it makes sense that their vibration can be low, and that's why they see spirits that are, scary or sad or whatever. Because it's natural to be scary. I actually had a person ask me that once. Wait, if kids are so high vibrational, why do they see scary things? I'm like, who said they're high vibe? I remember being really scared a lot as a kid. But you're setting you're setting a vibrational environment where they can stay higher vibe. You know what I mean? They can trust you.
Okay. And my first daughter, I think she shows characteristics of the rainbow children that I will probably talk about later. But so she's super high vibrational. Like I feel like she's higher than me. Like it's almost where it wears you out because they're like buzzing. And I know all children do that, but she's definitely, anyone that knows her, she's high vibrational. The baby boy. So I would be changing her diaper, and she'd be like, "Oh, hi, baby boy. There's the baby boy." And she's like 18 months or 2 years old. She's like, "I'm playing with him." And I was like, "Oh." Like that was like before I went to Hillary, I think. And I was just trying to, at first I think that's something that parents need to know. Like, try not to show shock, because that can shut them down and shut down their gifts. But it's an amazing thing. And then she started having dreams about the baby boy. And then when I went in to get a reading with Hillary, she's like, "Oh, I think that's like a child that's maybe not born
yet." I actually told you were going to have a boy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So you hadn't had your second child yet?
Okay. This is the child that I haven't had yet.
Okay. Oh, you still haven't had the baby boy? Okay.
We're waiting.
Me and my husband haven't decided even if we want a third.
Yeah. And that's okay, too. If you decide, that soul can remain as a spirit guide, or if he wants to. Yeah.
Okay,
and if he wants
I'm like, "Oh, the baby boy."
No, I actually have a friend who's a medium, and she has 2 children, and she had a third child who was coming and even waking her up. She felt like she could feel them tapping her toe and saying, "Hello, mommy. Hello, mommy."
Oh, so sweet.
And she and her husband, talked about it, and they said, no, they really decided it's not, we don't want to have any more children. And and so she went, and she's had a good cry because she said goodbye to this child and said, "We're not going to do that this time."
Okay. Okay.
And, it can be for us human, on the human side, it can be something that we mourn about, but But absolutely, I mean, that soul is still in unconditional space, and we're creating our reality in every moment. So it's a possibility. We have so many potential realities that our soul can manifest and still be on a path of light.
Okay.
So do you agree, Hillary?
Yeah, one of my spirit guides told me that we really, we set a path when we come in. And we really only complete 80% of our intended path.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
So
Yeah, I've
it
always
does
wondered
change.
about that.
Yeah.
I had a child that I was connecting with, and it was right at the beginning of me having my awakening. And I think like you had seen the child too when you gave me a reading, like people were seeing it. And then all of a sudden I didn't see the child anymore. And I was like, that's interesting. And I had a name picked out for this child. And it's so weird. There was a couple who was in the industry who were like kind of colleagues of mine from like my previous work, that I was segueing from. And they became pregnant, and they named the child. They started telling the name of the child right away, but while she was still pregnant, and it was the same name. And it's not a common name. It's not like, Susan, or Michelle.
Wow.
It's a kind of esoteric name.
Interesting.
And I was like, and same kind of thing as my friend. Like I connected with the soul, and essentially because it was in that time of really strong transition for me, she was just like, my intentions for my life don't suit you anymore, and that's okay. Like we would have gone through my transition together, and we would have, but I kind of made some radical shifts, and so she just went to someone else.
Interesting. Wow.
It was
so
kind of crazy.
interesting. That is crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, so go ahead. Well, so baby boy, and this is maybe a child. It's a potential child.
Potential child.
Yeah.
In heaven. So she would wake up. I was playing round and around with the baby boy, and I think one of your students said like he'd be if he comes to fruition, he'd be a handful, and like and my first daughter is a super handful too. So yeah, they were playing round and around and around in the dream, and then she started telling everyone, yeah, the storks are going to bring me a baby brother with yellow hair. So yeah, that was the first experience. But yeah, now there's been so many. My favorite is when she talks about her great-great-grandfather.
Wow. Did you know him? Your great-grandfather?
No.
Wow.
And yes.
So how did you identify that it was her great-great-grandfather?
She just said it was.
Oh, he told her then, I guess. Amazing.
They hang out together. They get ice cream. They play together. Yeah, I'm like, so what did you do today with your great-great-grandfather? And like, she's like, yeah, he picked me up from school, and then we had fun together. Or she'll be watching a show, and she'll be like, oh, I saw that episode with my great-great-grandfather. Like, okay.
That's so cute.
I know. And then sometimes I'll try to ask, like, I get more fascinated about it. And she doesn't talk about it as much anymore. So, yeah. But I think the other day she was like, so I was like, who is this great-great-grandfather? And she's like, she thought about it. She's like, oh, it's Grandma Marie's dad. And I was like, oh, okay.
And that's accurate?
That could be, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really possible. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just amazing. But and then I wonder, is it dreams? And this is something that I want to ask you about. Because so toddlers and preschoolers, they sleep 10 to 12 hours a day. So that's like half their life as a child. So is this all happening in a dream, or are they, and from what I've been researching and, talking to my daughter, do these children that are being born now have this ability to jump into a different dimension at the same time?
Well, we all are in a different dimension when we sleep. Yeah,
when we sleep.
Yeah, when you sleep, you remove your orientation from the 3D experience, right? I mean, obviously, we even physically, our consciousness, our bodies will go, as the way the sleep cycles go, our bodies detach from the nervous system, and we get paralyzed. Okay. And through a certain level of our deep sleeping. So even on the physical side, you can see how we can map that. But yeah, we remove our awareness, our consciousness from the 3D experience. We kind of keep a finger in the physical, like a tether to it. Although from the sleep experience, we can have astral projections or out-of-body experiences because we're so relaxed and so open to other dimensionality, but everybody does.
Everybody does.
Dreams are real. Dreams are you either sorting through your subconscious, so sometimes things that people would just call brain dump, but it's still you like looking at things and you're sorting things out, but you are having real experiences with your guides and other kinds of beings that you might be working with or getting. I mean, I sometimes have dreams, but yeah, it's real spiritual time where I'm in a classroom the whole time, and it's just like, and I'm just like, it's like downloading, so I don't necessarily remember it consciously, but I'm just like, I'm exhausted because I was in class all night. You guys, not tonight, okay? No class tonight.
And I wonder if children have this have that all the time. Every time they're sleeping, they're going to school or, I just wonder about that.
Yeah. Well, again, I think we all are.
We all are. Mm-hmm.
But children, maybe they have a more intense version of it, and they have fewer veils. We continue to put the veils on because we want to focus and understand how to be physically alive and have the physical experience, have the human experience. And so that's why kids remember and are open to it, and then they start to kind of forget or put on the filters because they want to be grounded too.
Right.
And have a journey.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think we're in an age where, and that's why we have so many of the New Earth children who are retaining that because we are raising our vibration collectively.
Yes.
And we're going to start vibrating in fourth density. And so we'll be having more of the experience as a human that is more like the three of us live now, where we are aware of Go ahead.
I had a realization just last night that we probably in about 10 years or less than 10 years, we're going to all have the sixth sense. So we're going to be sitting at home like, oh, the pie smells good and the birds in the sky look really nice. And, and then, and there's grandma sitting across the table
right.
So awesome.
Who died 5 years ago.
I've heard some teachers talk about something about 2032 being really impactful.
Interesting.
And maybe that's when, so when you say like maybe in 10 years, it's probably like pretty much everyone that you know.
This didn't come from me, by the way. This is something that my guides were like, by the way, we're all going to have this.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because all of the students that I've worked with, they all are able to do mediumship.
And well, the thing is Penny Pierce calls it, essentially we have the industrial age. So we mechanized things and that speeded up the way that we relate with one another and we just sped up our lifestyle. And then we have the information age. And then the information age is giving way to the intuitive age.
Right.
But you see how the information age is us connecting with one another non-locally, remotely. So we can send an email, we can send a message. We can right now, we're doing this live and we're on people's computers right now. That's really magical and a kind of a mimic of what happens spiritually. We just have these machines to help us to believe it. But just think about this 100 years ago. Even before radio, like radio itself was also a segue into being able to connect spiritually or psychically, however, telepathically, because you could be connecting with someone across, and also be connecting from the past. So recording something and then replaying the message. So that is taking our focus off of linear time by having things that are recorded, we can replay it. And all of that, if you, again, think about 150 years ago, if you even thought that you could throw your voice across the world, you'd be burned. That's butchery. But now it's perfectly normal. So now that it's perfectly normal to connect this way, what's next? We're going to continue evolving. So it's a jumping off point. It's totally logical if you think about it.
I hope we can learn to text our pets when we're out of town.
Oh, I like that.
I do. That's what I do.
I'm going to text my cat and see what she's up to.
I do.
Oh my gosh, I
How's
love
your
it.
nap?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know, because you're traveling so much.
Yeah.
I know it's funny because, I'm an animal communicator and when I travel, I'm still super panicked the whole time I'm away because I just miss their physical little bodies. And I tap in with them. They're like, what? I'm actually enjoying time away from you right now. It's a vacation from you constantly waking me up.
I thought she would miss me, and I walked in the house, and she was still sleeping. She didn't even care. I'd been gone for 3 days.
I was going to say, after about 3 days, they start going, when are you coming home? You know what I mean? Like, they start asking me, and they really miss me. But if it's 2 days, they're like, yeah, hi. Dad fed us. That's fine.
Well, that's good to know.
Anyway, so should we we have a caller? Should we take a call? Oh, okay. Let's take a call, and then I want to talk about rainbow crystal children. Let's talk about that.
Anything.
Oh, no. Well, hello. You're on the air. Who's this?
Oh, I can hear a little.
Just turn up your volume.
My name is Liliana.
Juliana?
Hello?
Yeah.
Liliana with NL.
Oh, Liliana. Hi, Liliana. How are you? Thanks for calling. We have Hillary, and we have Janelle on with us. What's on your mind?
Great. Thank you. Well, I actually wanted to see if I could get some guidance, or actually I wanted to see if anything comes up from my guides.
Okay, great. Any particular area you want to talk, you're interested in looking at? Helps us to focus the intention.
Well, I guess life purpose, where am I supposed to go from here?
Okay, great. Hillary, do you have something for Liliana?
Yeah. Liliana, where are you calling from?
From LA.
Oh, cool. I am getting a mother figure
too.
around you.
Yeah, and I'm getting mother.
I was getting
Seems like
the
it could
mom's
be.
mom. Yeah.
Is it your mom that's passed?
No. Mm-mm.
Did your grandmother raise you? Did your grandmother pass as well on mom's side?
Yes, but they did not raise me.
Okay, I think that's who we're
It
connecting
could be,
with.
yeah, it could be great aunt. I'm not really sure. I see the positioning on that tier, but I can't. I could ask her. Go ahead, Hillary. I'm gonna.
Well, you definitely have this grandmother who's with you, who's a really strong force in your life, and I almost get the sense that she's been with you a long time. So, did she pass when you were really young? Because it's almost like she's raising you from the other side, or.
And there's a healer essence to her too. She shows me healing. I don't know if she actually did. You do it? And was she a nurse or a non-traditional healer? Something along those lines. I don't know if are you familiar with her, the life that she lived here?
No, no.
Okay.
I am not familiar with, anybody like that.
Okay. And so life purpose
yeah.
she's showing me the healing. So I see you as a healer. I see you, whereas she's showing me using a kind of hands-on healing. She's showing me it's your heart and your ability to, so you have a really powerful empathic nature. Are you constantly kind of pulling in other people's, feeling for other people, and almost you want to cry when you experience someone else's sadness and you just want to take it away?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And so this is your talent to be able to have compassion, but we want to keep your vibration high about it. But you also use switching to the intention of being able to help and heal and counsel in a way, and knowing that you're powerful to do that. I'm sorry, Hillary. What do you want to go ahead and see what you're getting from her?
Keep going.
No, that's I want to.
That's all you're getting. Okay. Yeah, Liliana, I do see this grandmother with you. And I know maybe you didn't know her very well, or you didn't, because I'm just getting the sense that she's been raising you or been around you a long time. So I feel like she must have passed when you were younger. And I just feel like she's very close. And so from the other side, when they aren't able to connect with you in life, they actually do it from the other side, and they are able to be very close to you and help you a lot. Now, she's showing me that you have a brother or a younger sibling.
I do have a brother. I do.
Okay, because she's talking about the brother, and she's saying she watches over him as well. And I just feel like she wants you to ask her for help. So for me, what I'm getting from your energy is that right now you're just kind of working and making money, and you're not really setting intention for your life. I'm not sure if you don't have like a goal or if you're not sure what to do, but she would like you to ask her for help with with your life purpose, because I definitely feel like you have a purpose, but you need to recognize what it is that you want to do with your life. So she's saying, please ask me for help. Please write her letters. You can also just talk to her out loud, but I'm definitely getting the sense that this grandmother on mom's side is very much, very strong in your energy, and she's one of your main guides. So,
I was seeing the writing too. If you write to her, you can write a letter to her, and then basically automatically write and let her respond back. And whatever comes through in your mind that's loving, that will be her answer. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I actually heard from someone else before that. They just recently told me, because I've never been into, asking for psychic help or anything like that, So I went to this one person, and she actually told me that there was an old lady, and that that she will help me with, that healing, that she saw a lot of healing on me, and that I could actually do some, stuff like that. And so the reason why I started getting into it is because all of a sudden I felt like attracted to crystals and things that for me were completely out of character,
Yeah.
I never done anything like that. I actually was kind of afraid of the lifestyle, and all of a sudden this urge, it just out of nowhere, it started popping. And so this person that I went to see told me, no, this old lady, she's there, and she says, you have it, and you just need to work on that. And to me, at first I honestly thought, well, that's kind of pretentious, because I've never heal anybody or done any kind of work like that. So where is that coming from? And she's like, it's strong and it's in your blood. Because I don't have anyone that I can remember, at least in this lifetime, that has had any kind of, actually they're very Catholic and very anti any of these,
Sure. Well,
so it's very interesting.
You've got two readings that are confirming that now.
I wrote down healer too. So
Okay.
before you said it.
So Liliana, I think the first step is you've already taken it by opening yourself up to it, and now just keep pursuing what is exciting to you, what interests you. Forget about anything that is from the ego that says that it's pretentious or it's weird or just don't even care about that. Just keep moving forward with things that are exciting and make you feel like you're connecting to love. And you're on your path then. Thank you so much for calling, and I hope you check in with us again and just keep going, sweetheart. You got it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
All right. Well, that was really cool.
Yeah.
She's like, actually, yeah, I've already been told that. Well, there you go.
I actually have a story about I want to call it like the Catholic block, which I know you talked about last time. So I was kind of working through that through the mentor program. It teaches you so much about yourself and really gets rid of blocks. And I would have never thought that that's what happens, but the spirit world works through Hillary and myself that way. And so it was one of my weeks I was working through the Catholic block, and I was like praying about it, and I was getting my daughter, the older daughter, ready for bed, and I was like, okay, great. One of my guides, the one that helps me with mediumship, is my great grandmother, and so I was talking to her like, can you please help me with this block that I have going on? And all of a sudden my daughter goes, you don't remember the movie Coco? And I'm like, what?
I don't know that movie.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you don't have kids, you probably don't know that movie. But it's an amazing movie that the little boy travels to the spirit world and he interacts with his great-grand family.
Wow.
Yeah. So the movie to me is what mediums are. We're bringing that love for family through to the living world. And so that's what that movie means to me. And the last song, I just always start crying. So, I feel like it was a message. I guess my great-grandmother was talking through my daughter, or I don't know.
She's just having the experience with you.
Yeah. So
that's
cool.
so cool. I love that. So you did mention, we mentioned rainbow children, and then there's also crystal children and indigo children.
Yes.
So let's talk about what that is in case folks have never heard this before or haven't. There's actually, I haven't found a ton of information about rainbow and crystals.
Right.
So just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Online there's a little bit. It's really fun to look up the characteristics and kind of, it's almost like astrology where you're like, oh, I feel like I fit that one. Or like I feel like I resonate with the crystal children. And I was born 82, and from what I got, that's kind of like when they started to incarnate. But they're crystal children, and I feel like my second daughter is a crystal child. She's completely more mellow than the rainbow child, which the rainbow child's like super hyperactive. Like you always have to constantly supervise. Sometimes I've had her wear a leash. But the younger one is very mellow and very empathic, very sensitive. And I know you talk about that a lot on your show, but that sort of thing, hypersensitive to chemicals and smells and foods. But both the crystal and the rainbow children have a lot of the psychic and spiritual gifts. And I feel like more than other generations, but maybe it's just that they're learning to not be blocked as much, like you were saying. And I also think that it's part of how you talk about raising the planet's vibration. And these children, I believe, are going to help with that. And the world's going to change. So.
Dolores Cannon wrote about it. I don't remember if she used. I think she did. She called it like 3 waves of children or of people that are coming in, souls that are basically, if you could think about the vibration of the planet being a certain vibration, higher, a certain kind of frequency spectrum, and then the median vibration of the human race. It's like these souls that are coming in, they're kind of edging on the higher frequency spectrum of what the human race is already. So the planet can tolerate it, or the fifth dimensional consciousness, Gaia, and the planet itself, and the human race can tolerate it too. But it being a little bit on the edge of what humans are on the higher side, then some people are like, these crap damn millennials won't pull up their britches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're kind of feeling they're feeling the tension because
pull.
they don't feel that maybe they're not on the same. They're a little farther away. There's more disparity in that.
Interesting.
And they've come up in a lower vibration, so they kind of have the habit in their ego, which again, not that that's a bad thing. We all make radical shifts, releasing some of our ego, but that's why there's kind of that dissonance between a younger generation and an older generation. And it's kind of interesting to me too, because as I was just talking about Penny Pierce outlining the industrial age to the information age to the intuitive age, you can kind of look at that as the baby boomers, Generation X, and the millennials. Definitely really maps that way too.
And and what I heard, or audiobooks and stuff heard, but the Indigo children were the first wave, and Doreen Virtue put it in a way that the prayers after World War II were what really catapulted that generation. And I think that's really neat. So after World War II, the Indigo children started coming in at like about 5%. And then in 2010, 85%.
Wow.
So, if you look it up, you might really feel that someone resonates with the Indigo child, or I was reading it and I'm like, okay, this is my husband.
Yeah.
This is exactly my husband.
My husband's more of Indigo as well.
Really?
Yeah. So the Indigo person or child is and so I want to say one other thing, if you guys look it up. Some people make it like they're very strict about the time frame too. They're like, no, if you weren't born in this, dispensational decade, I disagree with that.
Right.
We still have Indigo energy coming through now, and
you could be all 3.
Totally.
Or you could be 2. Or
And I consulted with my guides because I was resonating with the crystal child thing, but I'm born before. Let's just say before 82. No, I'm kidding. I was born in 74. But I talked to my guides about it, and they called me a kind of like a scout.
That's what I feel like. Yeah, for you, and like almost like a cusp. I don't know. Do you
Something
feel
like that.
Do you feel like you resonate with the Indigo as well?
I have some of that energy. I think that has to do with being a leprechaun.
Okay.
Because I like to teach. Yeah, so that's kind of the head part of me, but then I'm really silly. That's totally leprechaun energy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like to say things like butt and fart in my teaching just to kind of wake you up and get you interested, and it makes Hillary blush.
It's just the makeup I put on.
Anyway, so the Indigo children are more serious, I guess you would say.
Not angry, but
really
passionate.
Yeah, really headstrong in a way, but really kind of like no BS. Like, just really see that you guys are kind of messing things up, and
that's
I understand.
what they're all about.
Yeah, they just kind of are no nonsense. And then the crystals are, how would you describe crystal children?
Yeah, like very sensitive to everything, sensitive to energy, very artistic, very caring too, telepathic. Like my younger daughter, even my dad was like, there's something with her name's Rosalind, and
So cute.
something with Rosalind. Like you ask her a question right away, she knows the answer, or she'll react, and I'm like, well, that's because she's telepathic.
Yeah.
So they're telepathic, just very sensitive and healers.
Right.
Mellow.
And then rainbow children are like on 11.
Yes.
Right? Basically, because
always turned up like full blast.
well, if you think the reason they're called those is because the aura hold those frequencies. So indigo is the color of the third eye.
Okay.
And so the third eye is visionary in addition to being clairvoyant and all that kind of stuff.
They're mediums and clairvoyant.
Yeah. And so they're visionary, and that can also, so if you think about visionary, someone who has a vision for a business, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so they're kind of like
Idea starters, maybe. Yeah.
or even idea organizers.
Idea
Because if you think of like the energy of the sacral chakra, which is the seed of creativity, it's just like idea.
Yeah.
And then the third eye is the one that actually focuses it into a vision.
Okay.
And so that's what the third eye does when we're doing readings too, whether we're experiencing clairvoyance or a clairaudience or whatever, is we're taking the energy of spirit, which is way more expanded than the human, and we're translating it into a more focused signal for humans to understand consciously.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you, Hill? Yeah. And so that's the indigo energy. And then the crystal energy is kind of like the prismatic aura. So it is kind of coalescing all of the energies and feeling everything. But then rainbow is like more defined in that and expressive of it.
Okay.
That's how I interpret it.
That makes sense. That's kind of what I saw. And just the rainbow children are here to just bring love and joy to the world. And I also wrote that, or wrote in my notes and got from online that they're new souls, which I think is interesting. I almost feel like they're old souls that are new souls. Like, I don't know how that works, but maybe they've never incarnated on this planet. I'm not really sure, but they have that feeling of being a new soul. Like everything's new and so joyous. Makes me think of the movie Elf, like Buddy the Elf, where he's like experiencing everything for the first time and everything's just amazing. And I just feel like that's what my older daughter is all about.
Wow, that's really cool. So do you have some advice for people who have children that are having these experiences, or they're resonating with, okay, my kid is like all three. Like you said, don't be shocked, don't be scared. That's thing one.
Yes, because then that can shut it down. And Hillary's has advice on this as well, that can lower their vibration. And so just stay upbeat about it. Think it's an amazing thing. These children are gifted. They're amazing. And so just be so happy that they're sharing these experiences with you. Like my younger daughter, she'll be like, she can barely talk, and she's like, angel at school. And I'm like, so you saw an angel at school? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, so what color was it? Like I'm trying to get into it and get positive about it. Whereas at first, maybe I was a little shocked and like, oh my gosh, she's, my older daughter is telling me, she's like, oh, I remember when you were the baby and I was the mom or whatever. And I'm like,
oh my gosh. Oh, I love those stories. I love Googling those stories.
Oh, yeah.
There's this one that I read that was really awesome, where the daughter, like the little baby daughter, as soon as she was able to talk, she looked right into her dad's eyes and said, I am your mother. And like whispered it in a creepy way. That's awesome. I love it.
So awesome. Yeah.
And so don't get scared.
Don't get scared.
Cultivate it. Like be
Foster
interested.
it.
Yeah. So ask them questions, and then because I have people come to me, even though I'm not a mother myself. I think they think I'm like the kid. That's why they want to talk to me about it. And they think like, well, and I've had that with a lot of my clients. I've opened up to my gifts now because of my kids. And so
I would think that would be a common thing.
Yeah, and then so start developing your own as well when you open up to it, and that'll help you to understand your children and foster it, right?
Yes, definitely. Join Hillary's mediumship.
Yes.
Or Tricia's, both of them.
Join the mentoring. Yeah, join
or
Hillary's
just get
mentoring.
a reading from someone that you trust, a medium that you trust, and I feel like that will open your eyes to it, and you can. Before I got a reading, I didn't know who my guides were. So knowing that, okay, so I do have grandmothers and great-grandfathers and great-grandmothers helping me raise my kids. That's what I learned from my readings with Hillary and my sessions with Hillary. And so now I can say, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. My daughter's talking about this grandparent on the other side. Oh, yeah, I talk to her too all the time now. So I think that would really help.
That's a really good point, because you don't have to go super headlong into getting into classes and mentoring. Getting readings every so often,
so beneficial,
and it opens you up.
It really does
to your understanding. Yeah, because what a medium is doing is basically bringing closer to you basically being a mirror for your own experience, for your own spiritual experience. Just holding that space of what you can do yourself, but we like to get help from one another to do it.
Definitely. Someone that's not in it, someone that's on the outside that can tell you these wonderful healing messages, and
like we did with Liliana.
Yes.
It's the second mediumship reading she got where she told the same thing.
Yeah, and I think also seeing a medium, it raises your vibration. I'm not sure how, but maybe you guys know how. But so then, like you said, the parents' vibration will be raised. So then you'll have better experiences with the spirit world, maybe. I don't know. It's a thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have a mother's, Hillary?
I'm not a mother, but I have worked with people that have children who are very intuitive. And the way that it's been brought to me is that they have a lot of energy and they're very hyper. And they see, like Janelle's kids, they see grandparents and they see people and they have nightmares. And so what I tell them is they need to get grounded. They need to get their kids grounded. And the way that you do that is you keep them busy. You give them piano lessons and go practice the piano, gymnastics, keep them busy. Because that's more time that they can be in their body and they can receive information that's good for them.
Actually, those are really great tips, because doing something that is creative or physically active, because you're creative when you're doing gymnastics. You're creative when you're playing piano, but you're using your physical body. So creativity is spirituality.
And it's so much fun. And that's what raises your vibration, is just having fun and just... enjoying what you're doing. Why not let them have some fun?
It helps them to ground their spirituality, because they're connecting to Creator and using their physical body to connect. So that's fantastic.
When I do a reading, I have to be grounded in order to receive information. So if you're grounding your kids, they're going to receive that really good information from the highest source.
In a way that feels safe for them too, because they're safe in their body.
Right. And they'll probably they won't have as many nightmares. They'll be protected. I mean, they're always protected, but they'll have that higher vibration coming through. So,
wow, this has been just amazing, and we're just about out of time. So I would love for Hillary, tell everyone how they can get in touch with you again, and then Janelle, you as well.
Well, you can sign up for classes and mentoring at laspiritualarts.com. If you want to book a reading, I'm at happycentric.com. So that's it.
And Janelle?
So yeah, I have an email address. And also I just started Instagram, and Tricia Carr was my first follower.
I was?
Awesome. I'm so excited about that. So yeah, I'm going to start doing Instagram. So that's Janelle Medium. And my email is janellerodriguez@comcast.net.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. And by the way, I have opened up a lot more spots for me to be able to do one-on-one readings, one-on-one sessions. So check out all of my services, the classes I have coming up, TriciaCarrCharm.com. I have Healing Arts Academy for classes on demand as well as live ones. And if you're in the LA area, sign up for my mailing list. And I will be able to let you guys know that if you just go to my website, you'll see how to sign up for my mailing list. I'm going to be doing development circles and all kinds of classes locally in Los Angeles, as well as all of the online stuff. So that is our show today.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you both for being here.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's been so fun. And thank you, everyone listening and watching. I will see you again next week. I love you, whoever you are.